Okay, let's get started. Let me give you the measurements for what you need to make your cover. As always, we're making the cover first because I don't like making covers, so I like to get it out of the way. I know I've told you that a million times. And I apologize for the noise in the background. It just started up. I think they're working on the drainage on my street, which here in Florida, I don't know, maybe you live in Florida, but in my neighborhood in Florida, every spring they come around and make sure all the drainage ditches and everything are clean because we're coming into hurricane season. Anyway, okay. Chipboard, you are going to need, for the front and back, 2 pieces, 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and you can get that out of one piece of chipboard. And you're going to need a spine, which you can get out of that same piece of chipboard that's 2.5 by 6 3/4. And then you're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock that are 8 3/4 by 7.5. Okay, let me set the chipboard aside, and I have taped these like so. I did the whole spine and then just the perimeter of these pieces. So let's set those aside. This is your 8 3/4 measurement. This is a vertical book, so you want your taller measurement going up and your shorter measurement sideways for your 2 pieces of cardstock. And as usual, I am centering my spine on the seam. Some people like to put it on the back, and if so, if you have another way of making your cover, you know, of course, you should use the method you like the best. I'm just putting a thin bead of glue. This is our glitter glue along there. You don't need very much. And then I am going to glue these together. I'm going to grab my ruler. I just want to make sure that I'm putting this piece down reasonably straight. Just like that. All right. And dry baby wipe. Okay. There we go. Now we are going to center the spine on that seam that we just glued. And this is score tape. You can use whatever adhesive you like. If you prefer to use a liquid adhesive, by all means, go ahead and use that. We have a 1-inch overhang. And you don't have to be super fussy about this. You just want it straight. If it's not precisely in the center of your piece, it's okay. All right, here we go. I feel like I have a little more down here than I do up there, but that's all right. Okay. And go ahead and burnish that down. Now you want to get out a piece or some 1/4 inch score tape, or you can eyeball this. I like to use my tape though. Just put it right up against your spine piece. And once again, I'm sorry, I do cut my tape. I don't tear it just because I don't seem to have the magic touch for tearing it. I just get a hot mess when I try to tear it. Okay, and again, this does not have to go all the way to the top. It's just a guide for you. All right. Now, these I've only framed. I have not put tape in the middle. If you've got the score tape sheets, this would be a great place to use them. Then you just cover the whole thing with score tape. In the interest of saving a little bit of money, I'm just putting them on the perimeter, and then I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac, which is actually quite expensive, so I don't know how budget friendly this really is, but that's how I do it. So let me get rid of some of these tapes. Okay. And this is Fabri-Tac by Beacon. You should be able to get this at your local craft store or online. Art glitter glue you can get from Country Craft Creations or other stores, I'm sure, but it may not be shipping. It almost certainly is not shipping right now. It cannot ship when it's cold. And of course it's not cold where I am, but it's cold where it's coming from. So, and if somebody's willing to ship it to you at this time of year, I'd be very cautious. It's not guaranteed. If it freezes, you're out of luck and you will have lost your money. And that's the art glitter glue I'm talking about, not the Fabri-Tac. The Fabri-Tac is fine. You should be able to get it anywhere. I'm just laying my ruler along the center spine piece just to make sure I'm putting this piece down straight and putting it up against the tape. Give myself a 1/4 of an inch space between the spine and the covers. Okay, and now we're just going to repeat that procedure on the other side. Two reasons that I've decided on this particular size and shape of book. One is, I think it's, sorry, I'm having a hard time getting the glue out here. One is, I think it suits the paper, which of course is primary. The other is, I had made another botanical album in this size and shape, and I loved it. It was one of my favorites, and it's recently gone to a new home. So I thought, well, let me make, it's not going to look the same because the paper is very different, but I thought, well, I'm going to make another one that size because I like it. I don't know what it is with this Fabri-Tac. Sometimes I have no trouble with it. It comes right out of the bottle. And other times it just is a pain, like right now. I'm just using the tip of the bottle to spread that glue out some. I feel like I need some right there. Okay, there we go. And again, I'm just going to lay my ruler down. Whoops. Right there. Sorry if I'm sort of doing this awkwardly and making it difficult for you to see. There we go. Whoops. All right, that looks good. I think I mentioned before that I try to be careful with these things that I pull off the back of the tape because my kittens love them and will try to eat them. And actually, I don't know, maybe it's all cats because my little old boy Dandy, who recently passed away, also loved them. All right, so I'm just going to burnish them. Just like that. All right. Oh, excuse me. All right. Now, let us grab, this is, I believe, the 3/8 inch score tape. Does it say? Let's see. Yeah, 3/8. All right, and we are going to tape all around the perimeter of the paper and all around the perimeter of our chipboard. And these are Tim Holtz scissors from Tonic that I'm using. They make a smaller pair, like a snip size, which I haven't gotten. I'm kind of tempted to get. They also make a larger pair of shears, but I don't think I would have too much use for them. Of course, I'll say that and then do a project where I'll wish I had them. Right. And I've noticed, just kind of keep your eyes peeled for sales. I was in, I want to say Hobby Lobby last week, and they had all the Tim Holtz stuff 40% off, so you can get a deal on them. When you're taping the perimeter of the paper, we are going to miter the corners so you don't have to go all the way into the corner. Or we may cut a square. I haven't decided. I have two different methods, and so I haven't decided how I'm going to do them. But I have to decide soon because we're about a minute away from having to do it. Okay. Oops, I went all the way to the corner with that, but that's all right. It doesn't matter if you go to the corner, it's just wasted tape, that's all. And make sure when you're putting down score tape that you don't stretch it. All right, there we go. And let's burnish the tape. This is a Teflon bone folder that I'm using. You can get it at Amazon. All right, so now, corners, corners, corners. I think that I will miter them. It's just what I'm used to most. All right, so that being said, you want to trim the corners at about a 45-degree angle, and you want to leave about the width of the chipboard. I've left a little extra, I think, but that's all right. I can always take a little more off. If you take too much off, it's more of a problem. Okay. And as you can see, I'm not dead center on my cover. Tempted to cut that, but it'll be fine. Remember, all these edges that we're about to make are going to be hidden. All right, so then, get that out of the way. Let's just lift and fold it all the way over, just like that. Burnish it nicely with your bone folder. All right, and then I'm going to repeat that. Now, you haven't taken off the back of your tape yet. This is just to sort of train the paper how you want it to bend when the time comes. Okay, and then repeat on the ends. Be careful here, I don't want to hit the camera. Like so. Alright, so that's all four sides. This is much easier on a smaller cover like this one. Alright. Now, let's see. Looking to see if I want to trim any more. I don't think I do. All right, so I like to start on the long side. So what I'm going to do, move this to where you can see it, is on the short sides, I'm just peeling up about half the back of the score tape. Like that. And then pull up all of it on the long side. That. Then you want to, this is not necessary, but you can just put a little bead of glue right up against the edge. I'm trying to get my pin in my glue here. Okay, here we go. And then you just want to lift this up and over. And it nice and tight up against your chipboards. Use your bone folder to help you. Okay, just like that. Burnish it really well. And let me grab my sharp tool. We want to get these pieces out. I probably should have done it before, but it's fine. You should just be able to pull them out. If you're using something sharp like I am, just be careful you don't poke it right through your paper, because that would not be fun. Okay. And now we're going to do the other long side, so just pull the rest of these off. And pull that up. And now it sounds like they're mowing the lawn. I hope it's not too loud for you. Skill I have never learned is how to use a lawnmower, but it's all right. I have a pretty, I live on a corner lot that's kind of large, so I have some nice gentlemen who come and do it for me. All right, and I'm just going to fold that over. Sound as though I don't actually pay the guys to mow my lawn, which I do. They're not doing it out of the goodness of their heart. Okay, there we go. Now we have to do the ends, and the ends you have to do one extra little step, and that is, do you see, I hope you can see, do you see this little triangle right here where it overhangs the chipboard? You want to tuck that in, and I'm just gonna use, kind of hold it with one finger, and it's hard for me to do it in front. Let me see if I can. Yeah. I'm trying to find a way to do this without getting my head in the camera where you can actually see it. All right, did you see that? How I just sort of tucked it in, and probably didn't do it very neatly because I can't even see it, but I'm gonna poke that down. Do you see how that's, can you see? Sort of done, and see how this one's not? You see the difference? Okay. So then you need to do that on both sides of the corners. And I'm just going to pick this up and hope for the best. All right. Just tuck that down. So now I have both of those tucked over. Lift that up. Just want to make sure I've got that done. And then I'm going to run my bead of glue. Just like that. With these smaller sides, I just like to use the bone folder to just tip that edge over. Just like that. Okay. Now remember, all this is going to get matted, so the fact that this isn't the same size doesn't matter. It's not going to be seen. Oops. All right. And then we're going to do the same on this end. We're going to tuck that excess in. A little more than I usually do. That doing that tuck is usually a little easier than I'm making it look. Okay. Go. And again, with a little bead of glue. And turn it over and give it a good burnish. All right, that looks good. Now you're going to gently work this we've got the tape in here, so you're just going to gently with your bone folder or another tool work this down in there gently. You don't want to tear your paper at this stage, or at any stage really. Right? And you can see just by starting to put this down, the book itself is starting to fold up. So you just want to gently work that. Give yourself a nice edge. If you're using the artisan cardstock, you shouldn't have any difficulty with it at this stage. It doesn't really crack or tear. There we go. If you're using something else, just be more cautious. Work it slowly. If you're using a paper that does give you problems, sometimes you can spritz it with water along this where it's going to bend. Not too much, you don't want to soak it, just enough to soften it a little bit. Okay, all right, there's our cover. The only other piece that we need is the piece to cover the spine. And when you cut your pieces to wrap your cover, you should have had a piece left that is 4.5 by 8.5. So all we need to do with this is cut it down. This is 6 3/4, so we're going to cut this to 6 1/2. I'm just going to put it here because I'm not going to glue it down yet. I don't think. Well, I haven't decided. I'm going to do the binding just a little bit differently. No, I am going to glue it down. We're going to go ahead and put this down, and then we're still going to do the binding the way that I was thinking. All right, so for this, we're going to go ahead and cover the back with score tape. There's a couple of ways you can do this. You could cover the whole back of this, you could put glue on that, but I'm just going to put the tape right on this piece. That one very straight, did I? Fortunately, I didn't burnish it down yet, so it should be all right. Okay, and I just need a 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch piece to go in there. Again, if you have the full sheets of score tape, this would definitely be the time to use them. Checking to see if I have any hanging over. A little bit. I don't want to cut my paper, so okay. Let's give that a burnish. Bone folder. Don't have to worry about this being perfectly centered side to side, but you really would like it to be centered top to bottom if you can. So this is, you want about 1/8 of an inch reveal. Sorry, I got a shadow here, so I'm having a hard time seeing it. And you can eyeball this. You don't have to measure it. I usually do eyeball it, honestly. And give or take. Just once you put it down, though, you've put it down. That much tape on the back. Well, I shouldn't say that. You could undo this with the undo solution, but it would be kind of a pain. So better to just get it where you want it in the first place. That looks good. Okay, now we're just going to gently again burnish this piece down in and get our cover to bend up again. Gently. Just work it. You want your book nice and flexible. Make sure everything is firmly adhered. And just go ahead and turn and do the other side. Just gently work your cover. You want it to be nice and flexible. You want it to be able to lay flat. Okay, there we go. That is our cover. All right. I think it looks good. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Next time we're going to make the spine and get started on the base pages and see how far we get. So again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Please like this video down below, and I will see you the next time. Oh, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.